How's it going, YouTube? It's FuzzyXYZ here. Now today I'm going to bring you a prophecy deck profile. Been meaning to do this actually all week, but I was just like waiting on some cards that I was picking up over the weekend. So I thought I'd bring it to you now due to the fact that I went to 2 locals this week. On Saturday, which was yesterday, I went to my usual locals, which is Patriot Games, and today, which is Sunday, obviously, I went to Comics and Collectibles in Chesterfield. It was actually a winner box because it was their end of month tournament. And to be honest, I did really good with the deck. I'm really happy about how it performed and everything. Obviously, it's under the new format, so this is post Tachyon. So obviously, people know what's going to be in this deck at the minute. And yeah, yesterday I came 5th place. Me and my teammate Jamie was actually going to go into a draw in the last round, and we figured out that actually none of us had topped if we draw or drew. So to be honest, due to the fact that I've already qualified for the little 8-man tournament thing that's happening at Patriot at the minute, I thought I'd let him have the victory so he could go into top 4. And hopefully could win from there. And today I came 2nd in the winner box, so close to winning, to be honest. The only reason why I probably didn't win was because of my own misplay, but yeah, you can't help it, I suppose. But for coming 2nd place, I did win this. I'll just get it here. I don't know if you can see that. It's the Audio Chaos Sneak Peek map, which is pretty cool, but to be honest, I'm not going to use any other map bar this special prophecy map here. So I thought I'd bring you the deck profile. I'm not going to talk about my matches or anything like that, because obviously, like I said, I went to 2 locals, so I'd probably end up getting confused. So I just thought I'd bring you the deck profile as it is at the minute. So like I said, this is the new format prophecy, so obviously it is under post Tachyon. So the first 3 cards are 3 priestess. This has to be in obviously the deck. The deck basically revolves around this card. To be honest, you actually rely on this a lot more in this version now than what you used to do pre-Tachyon for some reason, which I kind of don't like that at the minute. Obviously priestess is a good card by itself, but there is a fair couple of evil swarms going around now, and people are side decking for prophecy a lot more with mind crushers and debunks and stuff like that. So you have to kind of be careful with your priestess, especially these babies that, since I love them. The next card is the 3 magician. Obviously this card is just amazing. To the fact that it can search out almost everything in your deck, especially the new card that's in now, is absolutely insane. The next 2 cards are 2 Justice of Prophecy. Absolutely amazing when you get them off Judgment, and you just basically go +5 in a turn. Next card is 1 Veiler. To be honest, the only reason why I won 1 Veiler is just in case my tower gets heavy stormed, then you obviously have that level 1 target. Also, it's kinda, you don't really use it for effect negation because there's not really many effects that you want to negate, to be honest. I mean, the only thing you can think of is maybe Drago Sacks or Big Eyes or something, so you could actually keep it in your hand. A lot of the time though, you do actually synchro with this card, and it seems to be a lot more live with synchroing than it does actually using its effect. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously when you use its effect and negate something like, say, a Drago Sack, a Big Eye, Priestess, something like that, then it is really good, but you just generally use it for synchroing. Next card is Toon Gemini Elf. I absolutely hate this card, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have to play it, and on the odd couple of occasions I have normal summon this, maybe life back a magician by banishing a magician, so you can exceed play, you can synchro with it. I mean, the fact that it can't attack on the turn that it's summoned is really annoying in my opinion, especially late game when you actually draw this. It's so annoying, or you get it off toon tables. But actually when you do eventually able to attack with this, especially Powers and Masters, getting rid of your opponent's card out of your hand is pretty good, to be honest. The only time that it's really bad and really annoying is obviously when you already have toon tables in hand and you already have this, and that means you just have dead toon tables, which is really annoying. The next card is Shaolin Spiritualist. I main deck one of these because it is pro as. This card has won me so many games, especially when you get it off Judgment in the end phase. Or if your tower gets destroyed and you go into level 3, people just think you're going to go into Justice. When you go into this, it shuts down dragons completely. Like the only way they can get around it is Blaster or some form of removal, like a Dark Hole or something like that. But obviously you have your protections and your wisdoms, so it's a really good card. And the last monster that I play is one main deck Kaiku. The reason why I play this is A, it's good against elemental dragons and stuff like that, and B, it's actually good in the mirror match. Stops your opponent banishing for priestess, stops them using the lives and their fates, so it's really good. It's also an 18 body, so unlike in the previous build where you had breaker and also when it gained the counter to go up to 1/9, so they could chain their Evil Swarm Thunderbird, this can just straight up smack over it, which is pretty good. So that's it for the monsters. I think there's 12 monsters in total. You don't really play more than that, to be honest, because in all honesty you don't have much room. And onto the spells. This bad boy, Spellbook of Judgment. Yep, I got my playset. This card is freaking insane. Obviously I haven't done much testing on DM with it personally, but when I've actually played it in like 2 tournaments, it's so good, it's actually unbelievable, and it kind of feels unfair when you play it, to be honest, because you're just adding and plussing that much off of one single card, and it is absolutely amazing. You can more or less special summon anything from your deck. You can search priestess off justice. The fact that you can just basically empty your entire hand, you can activate powers and wisdoms on your first turn because you could just randomly, just because you can, to be honest, knowing the fact that in the end phase you're just going to replenish your entire hand and that you are going to go +3 onwards. The only time this is annoying, to be honest, is if you've used this more than twice, you hardly have any spellbook targets left in deck, which I find a bit of a pain, so you have to kind of rely on your tower to put them back. But overall this card is just busted, and I feel that people definitely decide draw not birds against this card, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I'm obviously telling you where to go against my deck, but this card's absolutely nuts. Obviously the next 2 cards are 2 Grand Tower. I've explained these in the past. Really good card. Put your spellbook back, extra draw per turn, pretty good. 2 Masters. I've actually thought about putting this up to 3, to be honest, but then I obviously thought that it could be a bit dead in hand if you don't have like a Secrets or a Masters or a Power Engrave, sorry. But overall, really good card. The fact now that Judgment is obviously out, the fact of the matter that you can go Magician, Judgment, Secrets, Masters, actually means that you now have 3 engraved, so it makes all the effects of Spellbook of Fate live, which is really good. The next 3 cards are 3 Spellbook of Secrets. Absolutely amazing card. I love this when you can actually open this with a Magician because you know you're just going to get pluses for days. The next 2 cards are 2 Spellbook of Fate. This card is insane, possibly on par with the best card actually in the deck, other than Judgment, to be honest, because this just wins your games. Next 2 are 2 Power. I've seen a lot of people play 1, I prefer 2, to be honest, just due to the fact that if you have Power and you have more or less any other monster in your deck apart from Jaugen, Power and Masters can get over any monster in the game, especially Ophions, which is really annoying against this deck. Next card, 1 life. I really liked 1 except for the fact that when this is in your grave and you don't have a tower so you can put it back and reuse it, that's pretty annoying. But only 1 life, it got cloggy at 2, I thought. Only 2 wisdom, cut this down from 3 to 2, just due to the fact that you can search it more often, a lot more often in fact, off Judgment, and you can just basically put it back, and to be honest you don't actually have room for 3, and there's not many back row heavy decks at the minute, to be honest, except Evil Swarm, which obviously you keep these in against Evil Swarm, but Dragons and the Mirror Match and stuff like that, they don't play hardly any back row, so I normally side one of these out, to be honest. The next card's Eternity, absolutely amazing. I actually thought about putting this up to 2 as well, but then I thought I'd get a bit too cloggy. Starhole, this, like, I think that every Prophecy player should be playing Starhole, to be honest. It's good in the mirror match if you activate 2 spellbooks, or even 1, to be honest, and you have a Priestess on the field. It means their Ophion can't attack over it without minusing themselves. and it's just extremely searchable off of Judgment, because obviously next turn you've added all them spellbooks, so this is at least going to go up to 5 counters on the turn that you activated. Now onto the non-spellbook stuff. 3 tune tables, obviously it's Spellbook Turbo. Your obviously main aim is Judgment, so the more spell cards you can activate the better. Same with the next card, 3 Upstart Goblins. To be honest, I only like these game 1 just so you can go crazy with Judgment. Games 2 and 3, I've sometimes actually sided out either all 3 or at least 1, due to the fact that your opponent gaining that extra K can be the difference in the game, to be honest. But its main aspect is obviously just to draw cards and add more searches off Judgment. And the last card is 1 Reborn. I don't play Hole or Storm, they're in my side deck. I only play 1 Reborn. To be honest, I thought about cutting it either into the side or just cutting it completely. I don't think it's really necessary. The staples aren't really necessary in this, due to the fact that if you get Judgment off on your first turn, to be honest, the duel is not going to last any more longer than 3 turns, to be honest. So this can sometimes it's not even worthwhile actually playing it. Obviously, if you are in a really grindy game, especially against Evil Swarms, you can normal summon a Tomb Gemini Elf, Reborn back either one of their casters or heliotropes or something like that. You can overlay and stall out and do some crazy plays with that. But to be honest, Reborn is not really necessary in the deck. It's just there because Reborn is Reborn. So that's it for the spells. And the last 3 cards obviously are 3 Threatening Roar. I thought about cutting this down to 2, to be honest, and a lot of people may question why I'm not playing Wobaku. The one reason is, and me and my teammate, my teammate Brett actually pointed this out to me, because he had this debate as well, that if you have Wobaku on the field, Zen mains can still crash into your priestess. If they have a Tyrus or something like that, then the attack has obviously still gone through. Stuff like Grand Mole and all these cards that can activate when, like when they've attacked or when they do attack. So, like under Wobaku, like I said, if they attack with your Zen mains, they can still pop your priestess in the end phase. The best thing to do is to not let them have a battle at all. As soon as they enter battle phase, T-Roar is so much better than Wobaku in my opinion. Obviously, people have said Wobaku because you can set your Magician and then activate Wobaku and then you get Search of Magician. But people should think about this. If you have a Magician on the field, if you have a Magician in hand and a T-Roar, wouldn't you just normal summon the Magician anyway so you could get the Surge and then set the T-Roar? That's just my opinion. Obviously people might question that, but I think T-Roar is a superior card over Wobaku. Onto the extra deck. To be honest, exact same as last format, you don't really go into this a lot, to be honest, because like I said, the match ends really quickly. But 1 Big Eye, 1 Hierophant, played this because you can actually OT Game Prophecy. Maestroke, Utopia, Tempo, Zen mains, Shiny Elf. You go into this a lot, to be honest, and this card, Dagger Phoenix. They're the main 2 and Big Eye that you actually go into. Gachi hardly go into this, to be honest. Crimson Blader, this and Priestess. This with Priestess and Veiler, and if you have a life, it's just GG versus stuff like Elemental Dragons and what's the other one? Mermails. Scrap Dragon, because it's big, to be honest, that's the only reason why. Arcanite Magician, because you can, obviously, it's basically a spellcaster version of Black Crows, especially when you have Starhole. Tempest Magician, I've got this card I've been playing a lot more often, to be honest, just for that burn damage and get it over quickly, especially with Starhole. TG Hyper Librarian, you can obviously synchro into it pretty easy, and same with Outrageous Catastor. To be honest, I'm not going to show you my side deck because it is Vicky Hall next week, and I kind of keep that one on the wraps, especially as I do need to make a lot more changes to the deck. I'll just get these cards out in a minute. Yeah, so I'm kind of keeping the deck, the side deck under wraps for the time being, just due to the fact that I am, like I said, playing in a monthly tournament next week, so I don't want people to know what I'm signing. But overall, I think the deck is freaking insane. I loved it before Judgment, and I'm obviously playing it and love it after Judgment. The deck is absolutely crazy. In my opinion, if you're not playing Prophecy Dragons or maybe Evil Swarm, or at best Mermails and Fire Fist, then you're hardly going to do anything unless your side deck is really, really good and really prepared for, or you're actually an innovative player and can come up with some way to defeat all these decks at once. Because the speed and, unfortunately going to say this, the money of this format is probably key. I mean, the only reason why I'm actually playing this deck is because, like most of you know, I built the deck from the very beginning. I was one of the first people on YouTube to profile this deck, and now it's just got even more broke over each different set. And I absolutely love this deck, and I think that Judgment is freaking insane, to be honest. And that's basically it, guys. That's my deck profile. I know a lot of people have been requesting this, and I still need to upload a lot more videos from Nationals, so do look forward to them as well. It's also my 1 year anniversary next week, and I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So if I can reach 1,000 subscribers by next week, and obviously because, like I said, it's my 1 year anniversary, then I'm going to do a huge contest for you guys to celebrate both occasions. This year's come around pretty fast, to be honest, and the fact that I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers for a UK YouTuber is pretty cool. So other than that, guys, look forward to more content from me. Thumbs up to this video if you like that profile. Comment below if you are a Prophecy player and you thought of anything that I can also tech into this build. Like I said, this is my very first build. It's kind of based off the Asian Championship build, to be honest. But I'd like to hear your ideas and thoughts on the deck. And other than that, guys, that's more or less it. So like I said, please thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. See you later, YouTube.